Okay guys, different scenery today as you can tell, but in today's video, I'm gonna be going over this insane match cut effect that is showing on the screen right now, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to do this insane effect in DaVinci Resolve. But before we get into DaVinci Resolve, I thought it would be super cool if I took you through my process of how I get the videos, or in this case, it's actually images. I'm gonna show you how I actually get the images, and luckily for you guys, if you don't have a camera and don't wanna go gather images, I'm gonna leave it in the link in the description so you can try this effect out yourself. I'm gonna go find a place right now where I can get images. So what we're looking for is things that are very similar, but this is going to be a journey to go find these pictures. So without further ado, we are going to go get this done right now. So ultimately I decided on something to make a match cut. To keep it simple on my end is just things that are circular. So now begins the hunt of finding things that are circular.
Every day when I pray goes my Father's way, obeying to what Jesus said. By his blood my sins are laid. Can I give him what I avail? This one that
Got this kid helping me today. All right guys, so I found my first circular thing. I'm just gonna use this car wheel on my wheel, but look, this is exactly what we're gonna be doing. So I don't know, can you see this?
Not really. Oh, now I can, yeah.
Okay, all right. So there's this center dial right here. So come over here. And I'm gonna center it in the center dial, just like that. And make sure the center of the circle is right where those point is, right there, that little point on the camera. So now we're gonna do that with all of these, and then I will see you guys in DaVinci Resolve. So we're back. Now the first thing we're gonna do is put all of the photos into our media pool. Once all of these things are in your page, I'm just gonna simply drag and drop them into my page. And since I did them like this style right here that you see, which is for social media and like Instagram and stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and hit Shift 9. I'm gonna press Use Vertical Resolution and then save that. So that way, you know, I could do this. But you guys can kind of get the gist of how the effect is gonna look if we just kind of play this through. But what we're gonna need to do is kind of grab a start point. So like I said, guys, I'm gonna leave all these images down in the description, but first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the smallest circle that we have, which might be this one, but I'm not too sure. Yeah, it's this one right here. And this is going to be the base, and then everything else is fine. So we could just use this as the base. What I'm gonna end up doing is probably making, we don't have to worry about that just yet, but now what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna go to this clip and then scroll over. Now this is the sauce. So you're gonna go to your opacity and you're gonna turn your opacity down, okay? So what we're looking to do here is basically, we're gonna put this rim as the size of whatever we're working with here. So by that, we're just gonna mess with the transform settings, the X and Y settings, and then that should be good. So the reason we did a circle is because it's a very easy thing to replicate. So now if we come here, it's very similar. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn the opacity back up, and we're gonna simply just do the same process. So I'm gonna come here, turn the opacity down, and I'm just gonna size this down because it needs to be sized down. And this is basically the thing that we're gonna do for all of them. Now we have a few effects that we're gonna do to sauce it up a little bit. So make sure you guys stay till the end. So that right there looks pretty good to me. And another way you can tell if it's good is you can just do this opacity trick just like that. Now I have this energy drink cap. This is a really good idea on my end, doing the energy drink cap. Now it comes to the point where like, should I do this ring or should I do this ring? So I think I'm gonna do the ring of the energy drink actually, just to make things a lot easier on my end. So see, circles are very easy to just kind of replicate. You can kind of just play with them and, you know, just, you can almost get it identical to where, you know. So now if we do that trick, boom, 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 fire, 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 fire. So now I think we have a few more. We're just gonna continue to do this process. Boom, and now we could do that process again, just like we said, so boom. Now this one might be a little trickier because it's kind of at an angle and it's also very oval, so this one might be a bad one. But, you know, as long as it is good enough, we can use it. So we're just gonna get it good enough. And if this one doesn't end up looking any good just because of the height and the width and stuff like that, then we can go ahead and take this one out. But if you just look at this, yeah, we might have to put this one at the end just to see if it even looks good in the first place. But now we could do this camera, which is my personal favorite because it just looks the best. So now we have this camera lens, so we can go ahead and just put this in the center because we know that that's a circle. And boom, we're looking very solid so far. So now if we just do this effect one last time, that's fire. Okay, cool. Now, honestly, since the clock is just so, like, oval shaped. I'm just going to delete it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all of these, and then I'm going to hit Command D, and I'm going to make all of these, we're going to switch to frames, and we're going to do 3 frames and just change them all to three frames. And then I'm just going to do this. I know there's a faster way, I just don't feel like doing it. So now we have something like this if we go ahead and play it back. Now I know it doesn't look that great, but what we can do is, you know, this is supposed to be also a simple effect. It's not supposed to be like something you just go on and on. I mean, you could obviously do that, but it's totally up to you. So we're just going to repeat this effect over and over again, just like this, for approximately 3 seconds. So now what we're going to do here is we are going to simply just go ahead and add a new compound clip and create the new compound clip. So we're going to just fill this clip up to where there's no more black bars by coming over to the transform and messing with the transform. So now if we just get that, you know, in the middle, just like so. So now if we play that back, we can just see that it is all... Actually, if you guys don't want to do those black bars, there's another way we can do this. So you can go ahead and just Command Z all of that if you really don't want to have to zoom in, you know. There's another way we could do this, which I'll actually show you that way first. You're still going to have to create a compound clip, but the only thing is now is we're gonna go to the Fusion page again, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab a transform node, and make sure your inspector tab is open, and we're going to go to the rotation angle, and as you can see here, if we just rotate this just like this, we can get a very cool effect that will just stay in the middle. So I'm going to go on frame 0 and turn the rotation angle on, and then I'm going to go all the way to the end, and we're going to do a few rotations. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then just make sure that this goes back to being just completely straight. You don't want it to be all angled and such. So -720 will be our final. And then if you go ahead and play this back, it is going to circle as these circles are circling. So it's going to look really cool. And this is the effect we're doing now. So now if you go to edges, we're going to hit the drop down menu. We're going to go to mirror. Or if you want, you could do warp. Since we now have this transform that's circling, what we could do is we can go to the transform under the spline and press zoom to fit. Now, however you do this really depends. So I'm just going to hit Command A to highlight my keyframes, and I'm going to click this one. I'm going to honestly highlight this one and hit S, and then I'm just going to bring this down like so. And this one we could just bring down like this. So now if we play this through, we have this. It sort of starts out super fast and then goes super slow, just like this, and I think it looks very cool. So we could do that, and you can also do a more like subtle effect if you wanted to, but just making sure that this little curve looks best as possible. And if you guys are having a hard time with playback, just go to playback, go to timeline resolution, and go to quarter. It's going to kind of pixelate your footage, but if you don't really care about that, then so this is what we have so far, and we're going to fix all of this too, so don't you worry. So now if we go ahead and add another transform, what we could do is toggle on the size, and we're going to look at a reference point of this one, and because we kind of want this to fill in these gaps right here that we see right now. So by doing so, we're going to kind of come up to frame 22-ish or frame 20, and we're just going to go ahead and zoom in like this, like so, and then just making sure it is nice and centered. So if you want, you can also come back and set a keyframe for the center, come back here, and then we can go ahead and just make sure that this is going to be centered. And by that, you have this little green circle that can kind of tell you where you are going to be at. So if we go ahead and center that green circle, boom, now we have it all centered. So now if we go ahead and unclick Transform 1 and just have Transform 2, we can zoom to fit on this, and then we could hit Command S, and then we can go to Ease and then go to Out Cubic. So now we have something that zooms in like this, so that way we don't have to worry about all the edges being cut off, and then it's going to go ahead and do that for us. So now the last thing is under Transform 2, we're going to hit Shift Space and go for this blur right here, and we're going to add that in, and as you can see, it's going to help this effect. So we're going to go to 0 or 1, frame 0, whatever. So for frame 0, we're just going to turn the smooth strength up to the max that it's going to be, and then we're going to actually hit keyframe and go down to the end, and then we're going to turn it completely off. Now the reason why we're reversing this is because it starts off fast and then goes down super slow, so we're going to do that exact same thing by hitting Command A, and then we're going to just drag this one down, and we're going to go ahead and drag this one straight down, so that way it looks something like that. Then if we get this one looking right, we can get it looking something like that. So now if we go ahead and play this through, this is what we're looking like, which is a super cool effect. So it's very smooth, and then it slows down just like that. Super cool effect. This is called a match cut effect. And also, if you guys want to add sound effects, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and go ahead and hit a marker. Now we're going to go to the power bins, and I'm going to go to sound effect. And guys, these are my sound effects using the first link in the description. And actually, this is a good time to tell you about the store that I run, which is ryanherrick.store. If you guys want to go check out the best DaVinci Resolve packs, then you can check it out with the first link in the description. But in here, I'm going to grab something from the creator bundle and my sound effect pack. And I'm just going to grab this one sound effect. So by going 1 frame, or maybe even 2, we can just go ahead and cut that. So then we can do it every single frame. So boom, and then we can go 1, 2, 3, and then copy that over, and then go 1, 2, 3, and then copy that over, 1, 2, 3. And then now we can create this process where we just do 3. So now if we go ahead and put these together, and we go as to like -7, turn the semitones down to like 3 or 2, double click and change the track type to mono. Now we have something like this. It's just a cool effect that you can add on to your videos, and this is the match cut effect in DaVinci Resolve. If you guys made it this far, then thank you guys for watching. Drop a subscribe and like this video if you like this tutorial, and I will see you guys in the next video.